What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop. Really quick before we get started, I want to issue a quick apology for missing the last couple weeks. You may or may not have seen a post about it, but my grandpa passed away a couple weeks ago, so that's what's been going on with that. Anyway, as it pertains to the video, Pokemon Switch is on the way, and even though we don't know anything about it right now, there's a good chance we could at least learn something this year, if we don't receive a full-blown reveal. Obviously, the added power of the Switch gives the game so many more possibilities than Pokemon has ever had before, and given that this is the first core Pokemon game to ever be on a home console, it needs to make a statement. So in this video, I'm going to cover 5 things we really need to see from Pokemon Switch. Now, some of these things are more of a wish per se, but I will explain why all of these need to be a thing in some way, shape, or form, so without further ado, let's get started. Now, the first thing I'm going to cover is the first thing we always see in Pokemon games, the tutorial. Fans have been pretty upset at the tutorials in Pokemon games for a while now, and the painfully long and excessive tutorial in Sun and Moon was the breaking point. I understand Pokemon does have a demographic of kids they need to address, but it's not like Pokemon is a hard concept to grasp either. I would like to see a situation similar to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where you start off in your house, talk to your mom briefly, then as soon as you step outside, you're on your own. I really think the player could be taught how to play simply by providing on-screen prompts for controls as you're playing, rather than use an entire cutscene just to show you basic controls. Imagine being able to freely wander into some tall grass and just sort of figure it out on your own. Sure, you'll have the professor give you your Pokemon and maybe show you how to battle, but after that, it's your adventure to do what you want. I think this is something we need to see in Pokemon Switch because Pokemon has always been a series that's about taking you on an adventure, and this type of introduction would set players up for an adventure like they've never experienced before. Now, when it comes to creating your own adventure, there's another thing I think Pokemon Switch absolutely needs to do that would allow them to shake up the standard Pokemon gameplay a bit, while at the same time staying true to what works and making the overall experience even better. And that's allowing you to challenge the gym leaders in any order. Now, we know that this is something that actually already exists in Pokemon, because we've seen in Pokemon Origins that gym leaders will select Pokemon to use based on the amount of gym badges their challenger has, and implementing this in the games would make the experience so much better. Not only would it allow you to create your own adventure and experience the game in your own unique way, it would also allow you to go anywhere on the map right from the start, which would really heighten that sense of adventure I talked about earlier. Finally, it would also really increase the replayability of the games, because depending on the order you challenge the gym leaders, each of their teams would be slightly different. This is something that honestly wouldn't be that difficult to implement, it wouldn't make things too insanely different, but it would greatly enhance the enjoyment of the games themselves, and that's why I think it absolutely needs to happen. Along with being able to challenge the gym leaders in any order, naturally the game would also need to be open world, and this is something that definitely needs to happen in Pokemon Switch. Now, I'm not talking like Breath of the Wild or Skyrim levels of open world, but I am talking about a world where there are no boundaries to where you can go at any given time, and overall the map should be a little more open and complex. What I mean by this is that generally, the Pokemon games are pretty linear and the path you follow is pretty much a straight line. What I would like to see is each of the standard areas of the Pokemon map, towns, routes, etc., become more open-ended. So for example, when you enter a route, you no longer have to stay on a set path. If you see a wooded area you want to check out, you can go do that. Additionally, the towns need to be made bigger and more open as well. Lumio City in X and Y is a really good example of what I'd like to see from this, where there are multiple streets to go down, buildings to explore, and overall it's a place you can really get lost in. So while a Breath of the Wild sized world is a bit unrealistic, I think the world in Pokemon Switch definitely needs to be the biggest we have ever seen in a Pokemon game, and making it an open world that we could explore would truly be a magical experience. To go along with this open world is another thing similar to the gym leaders that wouldn't really alter the established formula of Pokemon, but would make the games so much more immersive and would provide a much better experience, and that's making the game seamless and getting rid of all loading screens within the overworld. We saw this done in Breath of the Wild, where the entire map of Hyrule, outside of the dungeons, were all pre-rendered, so you could enter into houses and buildings without any load time. This really made enjoyment of playing the game so much better, and with a game like Pokémon, who is naturally not going to have as big of a world as Zelda, it would be really easy to get this done. This is an area where the added power of the Switch would really shine, and even though it's a simple thing that doesn't really add anything to the game per se, it makes playing the game that much more enjoyable, and it could be done with minimal effort, so I really hope we see this with Pokemon Switch. And last but not least, we have got to see a deep story in Pokemon Switch. While we have seen better stories in more recent Pokemon games like Black and White and Sun and Moon, Pokemon has never been a franchise known for its storytelling. However, with the arrival of a console-level game comes the need for a console-level story, and for the love of Arceus, we need to see a good, legitimate story in this game. I would really like to see something that delved deep into the Pokemon world's lore, complete with backstory, side plots, plot twists, and the whole 9 yards. We've seen at certain moments, such as in Pokemon Generations, where Pokemon can get really intense and even dark at times, and it's about time they brought something like that to the games, and with Pokemon Switch probably being the most important Pokemon title to ever release since the originals, now would be the perfect time. And there you have it, guys. Those are 5 things I think we really need to see from Pokemon Switch. Now, like I said, this is kind of a wish list, but I really believe that Game Freak needs to implement these types of things into the new game if they really want to give it the level of quality that a Pokemon game deserves on a home console. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and let me know in the comments below what features you think Pokemon Switch should have. As always, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content every week, and with all that being said, I will smell you guys later.